Adult larynx is somewhat different than the pediatric larynx, that is infant larynx. So let us discuss about the differences between adult and infant larynx. So these differences can be better memorized with the help of 7S. First difference is in the position of the larynx. In case of infants, larynx is superiorly placed. It extends from C1 to C4 vertebra, but in case of adults, it extends from C3 to C6 vertebra. Next is size. The size in case of infants is smaller. It is about 1/3 of an adult larynx, and lumen is also very narrow. Then shape of larynx in case of infants is funnel shaped and its cavity is shorter, and it is cylindrical in case of adults. Then softness. Laryngeal cartilages are more softer in case of infants than in adults, and their size is also smaller in case of infants. Larynx is straighter and less oblique in infants as compared to adult larynx. Vocal cords are also smaller in length. These are about 4 to 4.5 millimeters in length. Sensitivity of larynx is more in case of infants, so that is why it is more prone for spasms. Supraglottic and subglottic mucosa is lax in case of infants. Subglottic cavity is also narrow, and even a small swelling, it leads to respiratory obstruction. Let us come to the next topic, mechanism of speech. Normally, speech is created with the help of pulmonary pressure provided by lungs. The pressure of air that is coming from lungs, it generates sound by phonation through the glottis in the larynx. The sound is then modified by the vocal tract. Vocal tract means it is the column which extends from glottis or vocal folds to the nose. So vocal tract modify the sound into different vowels and consonants. An infant develops its speech at the age of 2 or 2.5 years. Mechanism of speech involve following 4 processes. First is expired air from lungs. So lungs act as generator of voice. Then second step is vibrators. Third is resonator. And fourth is the articulators. First step is generator, that is expired air from lungs. So the air that is forced out of lungs and larynx during the process of expiration, it produces voice. Loudness or intensity of voice depends upon the force of expired air. Means the more forcefully we expire from lungs, the more loud is our voice. Second step is at vibrators. The expired air causes vibration of the vocal cords present in the glottis area. Pitch of the voice depends upon rate of vibration of vocal folds. Means more the vibration of vocal cords, more the sharpness of voice. The sound of vowels, that is A, E, I, O, U, is produced in the larynx. Third step take place at resonators. Resonator means the column of air between the vocal cord and the nose. Air present in this area, it adds resonance to the voice. Quality of voice depend upon the resonators. Fourth step take place at articulators. Articulators are the structures or parts of the buccal cavity that are responsible for articulation. These structures are palate, tongue, teeth and lips, and these are involved in the production of sound of consonants. These structures narrow down or stop the exhaled air and help in production of various consonants. Like the consonant produced by lips are p, f, b, bh, m. Means in the production of these consonants, lips move and obstruct the exhaled air, and these consonants are produced. Consonants produced by labiodental articulation are t, th, d, dh, n. Means lips and teeth. These produces obstruction in the outflow of air and produce these consonants. Movement of tongue is responsible for the articulation of consonants ch, jh, j. Palate is responsible for the production of consonants k, kh, g, gh. So, lungs, expired air from lungs, then vocal folds, then air present between the vocal fold and nose, then tongue, lips, teeth, palate. All these structures are responsible for the production of voice. Vocal cords are responsible for the production of vowels, and the structures present in the buccal cavity, these are responsible for the production of voice of consonants.